the Pisces. Cast my line, now they're biting. Yeah, rocky coasts and lighthouses. What she knows now, I doubt it. Talk to me nice. I think your confusion starts with street lights.
Hello, welcome to your September 2018 reading, Sagittarius. This month I'm doing things a little bit different. I am using my Indigo Angel deck because Virgo season. Virgo is the 6th house, very angelic virgin sign. And then we're dealing with Libra energy this month too, which are the archangels. So very angelic forces around this time of September and October. So I chose some, well, I shuffled and we've got 2 cards on the table that came out for you, Sagittarius, that are guiding you angelically, and there's some advice hidden here for you. We are going to read from the book. And as you can see, you guys might be able to see, you have 2 cards here. So we have the card Apologize and the card Stay. This was very interesting to come up for you guys. So, you know, everyone else so far has gotten 1 card come out, but you guys have 2 cards that seem to go together anyways. We have Apologize and Stay. So I'm going to channel a bit from these cards before we start your reading. And I'm also going to read from the book. So there could be something that you guys need to hear. This is about apologize and stay. All right, so hopefully you can see those cards. I'll hold this one up as I talk about it. So we have the card stay. So there could be a situation that you're choosing to stay in, Sagittarius. Maybe there's some sort of apology coming up here. So this card guides you not to run away from a troubling situation. Whatever it is that's going on or challenging you right now is something you need to experience and learn from in this lifetime. There's an aspect of this situation, however, that is unpleasant, in that it's not yet complete. There's an aspect of this situation, however, okay, so even though it's unpleasant, Sagittarius, it's something that hasn't completed yet. So the angels ask you not to make any extreme moves right now. While this may seem like the exact opposite of what you hoped you'd hear, please know that the Indigo tools are lessons you'll acquire by persevering while serve a priceless aspect to your life later. So this will serve a priceless aspect to your life later. Someday you'll see this situation as clearly as the angels do now, and you will know that when the time to make a change comes, the signs will be undeniable. Okay, so that was a little bit rocky there at the ending. Sorry, I couldn't really read. So we're going to go back through and see if anything else pops up about this. Alright, so you're being guided not to run away from a troubling situation, Sagittarius. And I do want to mention that Pisces got this card for the new moon in Virgo. So you guys could definitely be dealing with a Pisces energy or a Scorpio, because we have the same card for Scorpio. Scorpio got Allow Love for their card for the month of September. And Pisces got this for the Virgo new moon reading. So you could be apologizing or staying with some sort of Pisces situation. But either way, whatever's going on or challenging you right now is something you need to experience, Sag. You can learn from it. And you know, you guys are all about learning because you're the 9th house of beliefs and philosophy. So there's an aspect of this situation that is pleasant, but it's not complete yet. So the angels are asking you not to make any extreme moves right now. Stay where you are. You guys are all going to know what this is in different ways. So while this may seem like the exact opposite of what you hoped to hear, please know that the Indigo's lessons you'll acquire by persevering will serve as a priceless asset to you in later life. So basically what that means is, you know, even though it doesn't feel good, even though it's uncomfortable right now, it's going to serve so much in your future. Someday you'll see the situation as clearly as the angels do now, and you will know that when the time to make a change comes, the signs will be undeniable. So on one end of the aspect, we have that situation, which is telling you, yes, it's uncomfortable. So I like that came up for Pisces, because that really resonated with me on the Virgo new moon. So yeah, some of you guys are in uncomfortable situations in September, which makes sense because Virgo squares you guys, Sagittarius. So Virgo season is kind of harsh sometimes. It is your guys' 10th house, I believe. Let's see, 12, 11, 10. Yeah, Virgo is your guys' 10th house of career and long-term goals. So it's interesting that you're being told to stay in a situation right now because it's going to help you in the long run. That's some 10th house energy. This may have to do with your health or lifestyle. It could have to do with your career. The life, you know, maybe you guys are just maybe you're working too much in the routine, life work balance, right? Work hard, play hard, or whatever like that. So you guys are maybe be asking to stay in difficult careers right now. It's going to be interesting. Maybe this is staying with a certain person that whatever it is, Sagittarius, it's a very conflicted thing. It's very uncomfortable for you to even stay and apologize, right? There may be an apology linked. Well, there's certainly some sort of apology linked to the situation. So I'm going to look up the apology card, and we're going to read from that and see how that intertwines with the card stay. So this card asks you to take the high road in a situation and apologize to either the people involved or yourself for the things that have been bothering you. Your honesty and fiery indigo nature may inadvertently lead you to say things that might hurt others' feelings. Saying that you're sorry is one of the best ways to let the pressure off yourself and diffuse tension. Even if you perceive that you've done nothing wrong, the angels ask you to apologize in general for any disappointment or frustration that arose. Be sure to have an honest discussion with yourself or the other person about the underlying feelings that led to this conflict. The angels certainly don't want you to cover up your true emotions. Know that while saying you're sorry may not be easy or even seem fair, this situation is being asked of you because it serves a higher purpose. This is a lesson for you to put aside your pride and do something for the greater good, Sagittarius. So one thing that really stuck out to me is how it said that your honesty and fiery nature may inadvertently lead you to say things that might hurt other people's feelings. So this could definitely be something from the past. You know, you are very fiery, and it says that this card was definitely meant for you because you do have a very fiery nature, Sagittarius. And any fire sign is capable of really blowing up and saying things, you know, out of anger that may hurt people. So saying you're sorry is one of the best ways to let that pressure off yourself and to diffuse tension. So there may be, if there's any tension that you've had with a person leading up until September, you may have the opportunity to stay in a situation with them so that you can release karma. Even if you don't think that you've done anything wrong, Sagittarius, the angels ask you to apologize in general, even to yourself, for any disappointment or frustration that arose. Be sure to have an honest discussion with yourself and the other person about the underlying feelings that led to the conflict. So, you know, both of these cards speak about conflict. They speak about, sometimes it's uncomfortable to stay in situations. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to apologize. So I'm definitely getting the message here, Sagittarius, that this month it just has something to do with, this is something, this could be another person apologizing to you, you know, but there's a situation in September where there's certain conflicts around the situation, okay? And it may have to do with some sort of apology. It's about being the bigger person. It takes a big person to stay in a situation and not run away. This is you trying to, someone wanted to run away from a conflicted situation, but the angels are really telling you to be the bigger person and stay in that situation still, because it's something there is going to serve you in your long run. So it could be a career. Maybe some of you guys had to apologize about a career, apologizing your careers, or maybe you're staying in a certain job or something like that. But we'll see how this plays out. Hopefully those both will balance there. Alright, in the bottom of the deck, I don't know if I showed it to you yet, but it is Allow Love. This is the same card that Scorpio just got in their reading as an underlying energy. So you may be dealing with a Scorpio, because Scorpio and Sagittarius are both being led to kind of allow love into their life. And this may be, have to do with that apology or the stay energy. Maybe you guys are staying in certain love situations, but there had to be some sort of apology, before someone offered their heart again. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but it is resonating with Scorpio and Pisces. And then we have the Archangel Metatron. So you're also having some Libra energy come up because they had the card Pray. So definitely could be dealing with a Libra or a Virgo energy too, because the Archangel Metatron is definitely the Archangel that resonates with Virgo. Come on, Bubba. Alright. Oh, sorry. I had to let my dog out real quick. So, alright, let's see how these energies are going to resonate throughout September by getting you a regular tarot message. So Spirit, this is for the sign of Sagittarius, the 9th house of our universe. Oh, okay. So we've got two cards coming out. Your first card is the 3 of Cups, which is a significant celebration, with the Fool card. So I'm going to put those cards together. This is a combination that came out together. And look at what's on the bottom of the deck. We have the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups that is kind of peeking out up here, okay? So there's some sort of wish that happened in September for you guys. It's some sort of emotional fulfillment that took place, and you're really celebrating some sort of new beginning, some kind of risk that you took, something. But for the Three of Cups and the Fool cards to come out together, you're definitely celebrating a new emotional beginning. And I would definitely say that it's an emotional beginning because of the way that this card is here. So let's see, what is this card? Is this the Hierophant? Could be with a Taurus. Yeah, I'm seeing a Taurus sneaking out. I don't think that Taurus wanted to show their face, but we do have some burdens. So maybe there was some burdens that left your life, Sagittarius. There was a wish you had for certain burdens to no longer bother you, and these were emotional burdens, okay? And I really feel that there was a wish granted here. Maybe there was a Taurus involved, I'm not sure, but it is very much emotional and a lot of cup energy. We have the 10 and the 9 of Cups there. So it could have to do with a family situation or a home environment, but the 10 of Cups is very happy. Some of you guys were wishing for the 10 of Cups, and you got that the home environment or the family, it's everything being in an alignment when the 10 of Cups shows up like that. And it most likely has something to do with you walking away from certain burdens, with the 10 of Wands behind the 8 of Cups, walking away from certain burdens, getting your wishes fulfilled. And you know, this could be a new beginning that you're celebrating by, you know, drinking a little bit of alcohol, going to certain parties. Maybe it's maybe this new beginning has to do with Virgo or Libra, because there could be birthday celebrations. But honestly, this is a new beginning that you guys are really celebrating. You know, it's a brand new start. It could be with an Aries, but it has to do with jumping into something completely new. And I'm feeling good energy with it because it came out with the 3 of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the 9 of Cups. So there's some sort of new beginning that Sagittarius wanted in September. It doesn't have to be emotionally, but it's something you are really celebrating. Like this energy feels really exciting, and I feel the Sag energy with it because it's just something you've wanted. It's like something that you didn't even imagine for yourself. So I don't know if it has anything to do with Saturn going direct or Jupiter going direct, but September looks like you guys are celebrating something very new, and it is a wish come true. So that's beautiful energy. It has me really excited. So that's probably your energy that I'm feeling. Let's see how this kind of unfolds throughout the month. What else do we have for September? I'm sorry, what else do we have for Sagittarius for September 2018? The mutable fire sign, 9th house of our universe, Sagittarius. Okay. All right. So that card kind of came out weird, but we have the King of Cups showing up. So significant water energy, could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We do have Scorpio and Pisces very significant to your guys' reading. But that could also just mean transforming your own emotions, Sagittarius. So this could be a new, I really feel that this new journey has something to do with emotion because there's water surrounding this Fool. So maybe you took an emotional risk. Maybe there's a new beginning with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Maybe you're taking a risk with a new, maybe with friends or something like that. There could be a journey that has something to do with a Scorpio, whether you're starting a new beginning without a Scorpio or with a Scorpio. King of Cups is very Scorpio. But bottom of the deck is the 5 of Cups. So there's a message here. 5 of Cups talks about sorrow and regret, okay? So the fact that this is an underlying energy, we do have that Taurus again with that 9 of Swords. So there was something here where you were really up late at night with anxiety. You could barely sleep. This was causing a lot of sorrow and regrets in the past, okay? For some of you, this has to do with a relationship that was still kind of available, but somebody in the situation may have been over-focusing on the emotional failures from the past. But I feel like with this particular combination here, you guys are learning how to better control your emotions like the King of Cups. The King of Cups, he's a very, he has a lot of authority emotionally. He's not afraid to express his emotions. He's not afraid to take emotional risks. So there is an emotional risk here that some of you guys are taking and celebrating. Maybe you're just going on a new journey that is really, really initiating certain emotions. It's filling you guys emotionally and spiritually. And I want you guys to really look to the water signs in your life this month, because for some reason Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio are really, really important. This could definitely have been something that took a long time to get to you guys, because we have this was painful. You know, it took a long time for this new beginning to get here, this commitment, this Taurus energy. I don't know if this is something that had to do with tradition, but there was regrets here, and it was very slow moving. But when it comes to those regrets and that pain, there was happiness that finally came in a situation you were stuck in, right? You felt stuck emotionally. But this could just be you guys learning how to better communicate those emotions. And because the King of Cups, he would handle this sorrow, and this could definitely be handled in a very bad way. You know, some of us slip into that dark abyss. But knowing the King of Cups is here, I think you guys are in September really finding new ways to handle your emotions and the way that you feel, your deep, deep energies. But we'll see how that King of Cups plays. I just know there's been certain emotional regrets in the past that you're potentially probably just erasing, because the best way to get rid of some emotional regrets from the past is to start something amazingly new emotionally. That would really trump emotional failures from the past, right? And in that cup, that's exactly what we see here, is that Two of Cups. So it could have been a relationship with a water sign. I don't know if you guys are getting over that and celebrating a new relationship with someone else. But let's see. What else for Sagittarius? We almost had that Ten of Cups come up again. So I'm seeing a lot of emotional happiness for Sagittarius, or just happiness in general, because now we have the Sun card. Okay, so we have the Sun card, the Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune. So we're just looking for one more card. And at the bottom of the deck, look what it is. 10 of Cups. So at some point near the middle of September, there was some really, really insane happiness that came in. It could have to do with a Leo. It could have to do with some sort of clarity that you were gaining, especially with the Hanged Man here. It could have been with a Pisces. Or maybe it's just you finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel of a situation where you really had to sacrifice something, where you were really stuck, and you know, it was all about you becoming enlightened. We have two cards here that talk about enlightenment, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is your ruling planet Jupiter's card. So this has something to do with expansion and karma, the wheel finally turning in your favor. Because we have the lack of forward movement and then lots of forward movement. So you're definitely moving forward emotionally because of something you can see for yourself now. And I think the skies are looking very brighter for you, Sagittarius. I'm seeing new home environments, travel. Like maybe some of you guys have even traveled a far distance. Really, really, this new beginning looks quite... It's not just like a new beginning, like, oh, you know, like... It's not some small thing. Like, this is some huge celebration in September. Very, very new emotional journey. You have emotional clarity. There's something you know more about the past. There's something you know more about what you feel. So, interesting. Definitely 10 of Cups. And behind that is still that 9 of Cups. So, I'm going to go ahead and say there was a 10 of Cups wish that came true for Sagittarius this month. And it had something to do with releasing burdens from the past. See how that kind of worked out there? So you're walking away from certain burdens and responsibilities to get your wishes met in the home environment. The emotions in your home environment. There's a completion. I mean, this is one of the happiest cards that someone can get. So I'm wondering what this 10 of Cups is for all of you. It could be a relationship for some of you. Others of you, it's just a new beginning with a home environment, or possibly your children or marriage. But that card talks about everything aligning. And it's blessings as well. So I'm feeling a very blessed energy for you, Sagittarius. And this Taurus, who the hell is this Taurus? There's a Taurus that is just, I don't know. They may be linked to this 7 of Swords. They could have been a Taurus that you lived with or something, because we still have this 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups energy. So just be very careful of any energy that would resonate with the 7 of Swords that could potentially mess this up, Sagittarius. The 7 of Swords is a very sneaky, cheating, lying, kind of a thief energy. This person is, they're stealing from an army base, right? But they're not realizing that this army base can see everything that's going on. I mean, this guy, if you look at this card, it's very bright out as he's stealing these energies. He's very smug, you know what I mean? So he's getting away with these 5 swords, and these 2 swords are left in the ground here. So, I don't know why this is coming up. I think it has something to do with this 10 of Cups and this 9 of Cups. So don't let anyone steal this new journey for you, because this is a wish that you waited on for a very long time. In the past, there could have been something linked to a certain thief or lying, cheating, betrayal energy, maybe in a relationship. I don't know how that's going to apply to all of you. But this is like a happiness stealing energy. Like, don't let anyone steal your shine or your happiness, Sag, or your fire, basically. But this is on the bottom of the deck for this little trine of a message here. So I don't know if some of you are dealing with a third party with a Taurus or something like that. You know, this is all, these three cards are all talking about commitments as well. So there's something here about commitments for you, Sagittarius. Could be linked to a significant Taurus or school or some kind of learning energy, because you know you guys are about learning and teaching as well. But the Hierophant is also about the priest. He's a teacher, and there's something here to be learned, a lesson. So maybe there was a lesson that was learned from the past about work and hard labor. We have the Three of Pentacles. For some of you, that's going to resonate with a third party. Could be with a Taurus. We got a lot of earth energy here. Seven of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. So, you know, there is a message here about your commitments and about, you know, making sure that there's a team effort, because the Three of Pentacles is when there's three people who are all working together. Sometimes that can mean a third party. Some of you guys may be in polyamorous relationships, so that might be different for all of you. This card, however, came up for Libra too. So you guys could be dealing with Libra for sure. I'm seeing some similarities in the messages. This is about you taking a break from hard work. So there's something that you've really put in a lot of teamwork with, Sagittarius. You put in a lot of effort with it. The Three of Pentacles is effort, okay? Really. It's a plan, you know, it's a plan that you've went along with for so long, and now it's time to really reevaluate your commitments this month. Like, you know, it's time to really see if this is paying off for me or if this is worth it. Now, this can be anything. It does look like for most of you, this is going to be a job, which is probably because of the 10th house energy. This is very 10th house. You know, your work is coming up, your effort, your labor, your job. And the 10th house always wants to know about your long-term goals, you know, just like this stay energy did, you know, like there's something complicated right now, but it's ultimately for the better. You're learning something from this situation, and we have learning here. So whatever this situation is that you're kind of questioning whether it paid off or whether you just wasted your time. Some of you guys are really wondering if you're wasting your time at a job. You know, am I like wasting my money? Am I wasting my time at this job? Is it worth it? Is this commitment worth it? Do I really want to do something traditional like this? Like, what about my goals? What about my passions? What about my dreams? This is your guys' like day-to-day life, which Virgo definitely rules. Virgo season has really came in and made us all see our lifestyles in a different way. You know, our routines matter in Virgo season. Like what we do for our day-to-day, like our health as well. So some of you guys may be putting in, you know, a lot of teamwork in a situation where those other two people over here may not be putting in as much work. So just be careful of that third party situation financially. Make sure you're not overly losing any finances, or, you know, the main thing with the Seven of Pentacles is that you don't want to continue working this hard on something if it's not paying off, okay? So this has to do with a job. This has to do with what you've committed to, Sagittarius. So be careful of your commitments this month, especially because we've got some real sneaky energy in your home at some point in September, and about your happiness. Like there could be someone who's trying to, like, you know, steal your shine, steal your happiness, steal your money even. I hate seeing that. Steal your wishes away. You know, just be careful of this. This is like hidden agendas that either you or another person may have. So just be very careful of hidden agendas when it comes to what you're wishing for, and when it comes to certain burdens, when it comes to these wishes and things that you've walked away from, Sag. But to me, this is all in this has something to do with money, your job or something, your commitments, teamwork. So someone just might be stealing from you behind your back or something like that, trying to steal your victories. And I just seen you. It's interesting. You're at the bottom of the deck there. So wow. Hello, Sagittarius, Temperance. You know, just saying, there is the Seven of Cups here. Some of you guys may have a lot of options this month. You could be feeling a bit emotionally confused. But just like the Temperance card, it is about trying new things, testing the waters out. It was really trippy that you guys were right underneath the deck there. So this message was definitely for you, Sagittarius. And this is a card that comes up for patience and balance, okay? So make sure that you're just staying balanced and patient when it comes to, you know, your efforts and your labors this month. Just look out for that Seven of Swords energy. People that have hidden agendas or ulterior motive. I don't like that. So let's get one more card for the end of the month for Sagittarius. September 2018. 9th house. Mutable fire. One more card for Sagittarius. Kind of in this reading here. One more card for Sagittarius. What are the messages for Sagittarius? Just one more card, Spirit, for the symbolic for the end of September 2018 for Sagittarius. So the end of the month looks a little bit weird for you, Sagittarius. Maybe even the universe is still maybe weighing that out about what happens towards the end of September. Okay, all right. So we had a significant message come out because of that. And it's 3 cards. We have the Ten of Swords. So, you know, there could be significant completions and endings by the end of September. This is around that Aries full moon. Aries is a fire sign, so Sagittarius is going to be feeling this in a different way, and so is Leo. So there just could be some pain that you guys are hanging on to at the end of September, and it could be with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or it might just be some sort of conversation that needs to take place. So there's obviously a lot that's happening at the end of the month that has to do with you juggling. You know, there's a lot here about financial anxieties, and that makes sense because you guys are going through 10th house energy. But we don't want that to distract us from the beautifulness that came out the first 2 weeks of September. Okay, it looks like there's a lot there that was in the motion to change towards the end of the month. The end of the month looks very karmic, like there's something that ends and completes. And while it can be painful and be linked to some sort of betrayal or like backstabbing pain, I feel like this was the clarity that you were waiting on for some reason. So let's take this back a little bit and go from the beginning. This could definitely be the end of the month for some of you. This could be the beginning. That's how I'm going to read it. But just know that you can experience any of these energies at any time in September. So going back to that very positive, beautiful message that I got for you guys at first, you walked into September celebrating some sort of new beginning at some point. Whether this was the beginning, the middle, or the end of September, you guys are celebrating a new beginning. You're celebrating with an Aries. You're celebrating like a risk that you took that wound up being like, you know, you didn't regret this risk. Like the Fool is like a new beginning, a complete new journey. He has no idea. He doesn't even care, you know, what's going on. He's just ready to jump, ready to fly. He is not afraid to jump off the edge of that cliff there. This is like having faith, okay? So there's a new beginning here. Maybe you're meeting new friends this month. I'm not sure if that's towards October where you're in your 11th house energy of groups. But you are celebrating, and you could be definitely celebrating with drinks. So if there's anything you celebrate in September, it's linked to some sort of new beginning somehow, okay? So there's a risk that some of you took that you're celebrating because it worked out. This is also, the Three of Cups can sometimes be, you know, a third party situation. We did have that Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups coming out now. So it could have to do with an earth sign or a water sign, but it could have to do with any sign, guys. The Three of Cups is also a socializing energy. So you guys could be really starting a new beginning, socializing with new people, with new friends. There could be a significant three women around you, or just 3 groups of people. But there's a new beginning with these groups of people, and you could drink with them or just celebrate with them, this new beginning. I just think there's going to be new people around Sagittarius in September, and it's not something that's uncomfortable per se. It could. I don't know why I just said that. I kind of just channeled that. So it could definitely be uncomfortable, which every edge of a cliff is, you know. Even the Fool is he's concerned about the edge of the cliff, but he just loves the high of it, right? Which is so Sagittarius, because you guys are all about adventure. So there is some new people that you're adventuring with at the beginning or in September. At some point, we have a lot of water here the first couple weeks of September. So there could have been a lot going on with you emotionally the first couple weeks of September. But you are becoming emotionally enlightened. I'm feeling a very Pisces energy. If there's a Pisces around you, there's some sort of, when a Pisces and a Sagittarius are around each other, Jupiter, which is the card that's showing up here for you. So there's definitely Pisces Sagittarius energy. And trust me, Jupiter is literally activated when a Pisces and a Sagittarius are around each other. So that might be why I'm picking up on Pisces Sagittarius energy with this stay and apologize card and allow love in the situation. Definitely. It could definitely be that. But we have the King of Cups next. So two different messages here about a new beginning emotionally. Now, keep in mind, this is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy, or just very emotional energy. It doesn't have to be a water sign. It could just be someone who kind of is very emotional, very sensitive, very psychic. The King of Cups is my emotional authority card. This is someone who has a lot of authority emotionally. He's a leader when it comes to, you know, water and nurturing. He's very open emotionally. you know, there could be certain times where this character doesn't express his emotions, because sometimes, you know, just like a Scorpio, we have to withhold certain emotions to refrain from losing ourselves to this emotional change completely. Like, there are a lot of emotional new beginnings for you, Sagittarius, in September. So what that means is you guys could very well be feeling a completely different way in September than you felt in August. Like, there's just different emotional stimulant around. New people, new faces, new feelings, new environment. You know, we had that 10 of Cups show up for you so much, and that 9 of Cups showing up for you so much. So, you know, sometimes when our wishes are being met like that, we can feel deep inside very emotionally fulfilled, and that can even, it could be like tears of joy. Like, that's what I'm picking up on here with this Fool, this King of Cups, and this Sun, because the Sun is all about joy, and it could even be a child energy. You know, it could be, you know, if you guys have any children, the Sun is a Leo energy, which is another child energy. So I don't know if it's linked to that, but this is a tears of joy. This is a tears of joy energy for me. The Sun and the King of Cups, someone who's embraces their emotion. And then there's happiness here with this watery energy. So happy water to me is like really crying tears of joy about this new beginning, celebrating in a whole new way this emotional comfort that you've really tapped into. Also, there's something here about emotional awareness, like you're becoming aware of something. For some of you, this is going to involve a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. For you guys, there's some happiness coming in here. If you're dating a water sign, I do see some happiness coming in, some joy. This is victory. This is warmth and light and love, you know what I mean? So it's success. There's something here that you're celebrating, and it's an emotional success. You feel very successful emotionally. Maybe you were feeling very cold before emotionally because of a person, place, or thing, or a situation. And now the Sun is kind of here to warm you. See, Virgo season isn't always horrible for Sagittarius, because the good thing about squares is that you have to compromise. Like, and sometimes the universe compromises itself. So it allows certain changes to take place sooner than what they were going to, or it allows just doors to open almost seemingly effortlessly. So this Sun card to me speaks of happiness. Like, I do feel like you guys are very happy emotionally about this new beginning, this new risk that you're taking, and you're celebrating this new emotional beginning of happiness too. And then we have, this is another Pisces energy. This could be a new beginning with a water sign for sure. Some of you guys are celebrating in a new beginning with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or you're just drinking with any sign. I'm not sure. This is a new beginning though. In the Hanged Man. So I'm not sure if you guys are going to be feeling this at the end of September, feeling that stuck energy. Maybe there's certain compromises that take place. This is Libra season. So when we enter Libra season, that's going to be more of your 11th house. This is your 10th house energy. So it could be that this is all happening because of career. We do have some heavy Pinnacle energy on the underlying energy of your cards. So, you know, there's some financial independence that you're juggling. Some of you guys are getting out of codependent situations with that third party Pinnacle, 3 Pentacles teamwork situation. Some of you guys are really dealing with financial stresses, but it looks like those are beginning to diminish the more and more you step into your financial independence. So yeah, when you're going through your 10th house here in Virgo season, this is Libra season energy. So this is definitely your 11th house. It's kind of flipped here. So that's interesting. Yeah, Libra is your 11th house. So when we get to the end of the month here, this has to do with groups. It has to do with your community. It has to do with friends. So that's when this stuff is going to come up here. But we have the Hanged Man to start that part of the reading off. Significant Pisces, Neptune energy. So this has to do with a sacrifice, and usually it's the sacrifice to be able to move forward. Like there may be somewhere you kind of hang out a while around Sagittarius. By the end of September, this is like where you're kind of put here. You know, you're stuck here in this tree, you're hanging upside down. But you know, and you know what? These messages talked about things being uncomfortable, right? It talked about conflict and staying in that conflict. This is it. This is it right here. So it's so interesting that Pisces got this stay card for the Virgo new moon, and now Sagittarius is getting it in their reading, and there's a Pisces energy linked to it. Because these are both talking about energies that can be uncomfortable and maybe even conflicted, but stay there because there's something you can learn from it, right? In the long run, it's going to be something that helps you. So I believe this stay card and this Hanged Man go hand in hand. Some of you are really choosing to stay within a Pisces. Maybe you're apologizing. Some of you may have to apologize for staying. Like, I'm not going. I just want to stay and I'm sorry. Or maybe I just want to stay. I'm sorry. It depends. But stay and apologize are coming up together. And then we have the Hanged Man, which I believe goes very much with this stay card. Staying where you are, even though it's a bit uncomfortable, just knowing that you're really learning. When you have the Sun and the Hanged Man, I mean, this is literally illumination. We have the kind of a sun energy here, and then that bright, bright sun. So lots of enlightenment for you, Sagittarius. Lots of enlightenment for you, Sag. And changes, too. You could be going through certain changes with the Hanged Man energy, like, even though you're stuck, like, maybe this is the end, because I don't know if this is you guys feeling stuck or enlightened, or maybe it's just certain sacrifices that you had to make, sacrifices that you have to make at the end of the month. But this to me is a weird energy. This is like the wheel turning even though you're stuck. Like, this is kind of opposite energies here. Like, you're feeling stuck, stagnant, maybe even trapped or something like that, but you're gaining enlightenment about this change, right? You're definitely gaining enlightenment emotionally. So, okay, Sag, maybe there was somewhere you were stuck in September. It doesn't have to necessarily mean at the beginning or the end, but whatever you felt stuck with, person, place, thing, relationship, job, home environment, whatever, there was a reason you were stuck there, okay? The Hanged Man sacrifices his own comfort to hang in this position. So this is basically the stay card, really. It's about sacrificing the ability to move forward because the spot that you're in can only teach you certain things. And if you were to move away from that spot, you haven't learned your lesson, right? But there was some sort of enlightenment that came in emotionally with this new beginning. And I think that this is you finally being able to move at the end of September, especially because we have the planet of Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune, which has everything to do with karma, the wheel, the zodiac wheel, things changing, luck. This is like good luck, good fortune, but it's movement and change. It's karmic, right? So this is going to be different for all of you. I feel like there's definitely some expansion that happens emotionally with a water sign. If there's water around you, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, it's such a breeding ground for expansion this month. Because the wheel is definitely turning in an emotional way. The more and more you become enlightened about the place that you either are or were or will be stuck in, wherever you feel stagnant. And it's interesting that this Hanged Man is coming up underneath the Fool and the Three of Cups. So there's some sort of new beginning that was celebrated at the end of the month, but by the at the beginning of the month, and by the end of the month there could be some sort of stagnant energy that you reach because of it. The Fool definitely feels like he has every ability to just jump forward and celebrate, but the Hanged Man is more of a thinking energy. He's more about enlightenment. So because of this new beginning that is in September, there was certain emotions that came up, certain water signs that you were linked with, and that situation was able to give you clarity and happiness and abundance and victory and success. And you're being asked to kind of stay in that position. Why wouldn't you want to, Sag? Don't change too quickly from this situation, because it's just weird, the energy I'm picking up on. Like, there's this newfound happiness emotionally and this new beginning that happened all fast, and then there is a kind of a halt energy here with this Hanged Man Wheel of Fortune. So there is a time and a place for things to change. So I feel like you guys have went through a lot of changes in September, and it might not be in the very specific areas that you wanted with this Hanged Man and this Wheel of Fortune. Like, you're just waiting for change, waiting on the world to change. That's kind of what this really reminds me of, like waiting on the world to change. You waited on your world to change in September, and now that it has, or when it does, you're being asked to see. Yeah, I forgot to mention that with this Hanged Man, this is all about seeing something in a different way, changing your point of view, because this Hanged Man hangs upside down. So he's sacrificing the normal comfort. He's sacrificing his sight, basically. But because of that sacrifice, he gains even more insight. He may not be able to see his physical world in the same way, but what he sees spiritually is paying off. And that is such your message. That is definitely your message, Sagittarius. You're seeing something like psychically almost. There's an illumination happening with you about the emotional changes going on. And so, yeah, there's a change that happened in September, and it may happen at the end of September. The wheel may turn even further. You know, something in the beginning of September you jumped right into. It was a risk. It was a celebration. It's this King of Cups energy. You know, it could have to do with a water sign or an Aries or Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It could even have to do with a Leo. We do have a Leo there. Or maybe children energy. I don't know if you guys have children. But yeah, this is about seeing this change from an enlightened standpoint, you know, because there's some clarity coming in here for you, Sag. You know, it's illuminating your crown chakra. You're completely surrounded with light. And the sun is really shining here. Now, when the sun enters Libra, that's when you're really going to be able to see certain things in a collective way. Like, that's what this is. This is expansion. This is consciousness. This is dope. Like, this is conscious awareness expanding with you. And this is awareness that you're gaining about, you know, your fortune, your karma, changes that are happening. I think you become very intuitive about that by the end of the month. And you're being asked to see this new beginning in this celebration of a new beginning you're having at the beginning of the month. By the end of the month, you're really going to need to just kind of stay put and not see yourself as stuck anymore. See yourself that everything happened for a reason in September. Even though you were uncomfortable for a time being, you learned so much from being in that situation. I mean, it shows it here. You maybe appreciate certain emotions more. You appreciate certain happiness more. I just feel a grateful energy, honestly. Maybe even grateful that you can see the way forward instead of just feeling like you're just hanging around. But there is something you need to see differently about this new beginning and about the change that takes place towards the end. So there's a couple different messages here about waiting for change, but also seeing change in a different way when it finally happens. But because there's a divine timing here taking place. And then we have the Ten of Swords, which is another completion, but we have this with the Sun card on the top of it. So no matter what happens in the month of September, Sagittarius, it's all for your greater good. It's all so that you can see clearly and so that you can become enlightened to Jupiter. You know, get ready for November because Jupiter is going to be going into your sign and that's your planet. So that's going to be a really expansive time. So the reason why there were certain times in September and certain times in life in general where we're stagnant is because when this wheel starts a-rolling, you may find yourself missing when things were this stagnant. So you may even, miss that time of enlightenment when you're able to just be a student, right? This person's hanging around. He's just a student. He's able to learn from his environment. I mean, what can he really do? This was a time where you really didn't have to do much, Sagittarius. You were just chilling. But now that this wheel is starting to move, it's the wheel of karma. This is certain karmic emotions, certain endings and beginnings that had to take place, you know. It's funny that we have all these bright new beginnings and then we have in exchange for that this really dark kind of cold air sign ending, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But this is all about your happiness. And in this card we have a lot of darkness there, right? But in the back there we see that the sunlight, we see that yellow coming out of the clouds. That, my friend, is the sun's energy in Virgo, in Libra this month, really shining your way. It shined on you while you were hanging in this situation. It shined so that you were able to see why these changes happened in a different perspective. You needed to see things upside down, Sagittarius. And that might be why you're kind of metaphorically on the ground here, feeling backstabbed. So anytime in September where you felt pain, September is the end to your pain, Sagittarius. Because the sunlight is way too powerful. I mean, we even have the sun here. We have 3 cards where the sunlight is just beaming. Here in the Fool card with that new beginning. Here while you were stuck and dreaming about this new beginning. And then here, over here by this great emotion that you were feeling, the sun. 3 different, well actually 4 if you count back there. But the sun started to shine on you in your darkest night basically. And these changes finally started to happen. We do have this Ten of Swords, which is... this is the end to a very painful situation. The only thing you have to be careful about at the end of the month is not to play the victim. Because when we've been stuck somewhere for so long, when we've waited on emotional change for so long, in the darkness, when we see the light, sometimes we allow the light to shine on our wounds instead of... So it's okay if the light shines on your wounds as long as you're allowing them to heal, but don't let this awareness of the darkness that you have at the end of September hinder you from... remembering what you learned, or you don't have to feel bad about anything dark that happened in the past, because that's why apologize is here, right? That's why, you're learning, you're learning how to be the bigger person in a situation. So be very careful not to hang on to this Ten of Swords, because we do have the Ten of Swords coming out with the Four of Pentacles. So be careful at the end of September of any pain that is still affecting you, even if it has to do with a career. There's gonna be painful endings. We all want our pain to end, right? We don't want to hang around in this stagnant energy forever. So that's why the last couple weeks of September is filled with releasing you, like you're cut down from this hanged man's energy, and then the wheel of fortune, Jupiter, starts rolling for you. And if anybody feels Jupiter, it's you, Sagittarius. And it's interesting how we beg for change to happen, in these moments where we're being asked to see something in an enlightened perspective. This new beginning of happiness has everything to do with the moments in life where you couldn't have that. And now that you finally do, it's almost like too good to be true energy, right? And before we can start these new beginnings, we do have to end certain things forever. September is the ending, some sort of ending forever for you, Sag. And it's towards the end. So the end of September is the end of something else for you as well. I do feel like you guys are going to hang on to this a bit come the middle of October as well. This is kind of making me think of October energy. You could be hanging on to this painful situation. You could be hanging on to betrayal, but this is gonna it's gonna basically steal your happiness away. Remember, we had that in your cards too, that thief energy. So don't allow anyone to steal this new light of day away from you, right? Because we have this Page of Cups. So I don't know if you guys are hanging on to a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or if you're just trying to express yourself, because this is a message. There could be a message at the end of the month from a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That might be what causes this change. That might be what causes this sun, this happiness. So I don't know. There's certain synchronicities that are going to happen at the end of the month that are going to be linked to money. They're going to be linked to whatever you're hanging on to. This could just be fine. Maybe you're making money at the end of the month, but this, the only problem with this, Sagittarius, is that there's only 4 pentacles here. And this man is hanging on. This is you hanging on to your comfort zone, basically. So I feel that there is a need to release some sort of comfort zone at the end of the month. Because, and that's so interesting, because this is all about sacrificing your own comfort. So there is a sacrifice of comfort that basically needs to happen for this change to continue to roll. There's this, the Fool has to sacrifice his comfort as well. I'm sure it's not extremely comfortable to jump off the side of a cliff, but he does that so that he's not stagnant and stuck. And it's so interesting. The 4 of Pentacles is a card that talks about hanging on to comfort. And I think there's something comfortable for you that is kind of ending. And yeah, Sag, this is reiterated throughout your whole reading. Because even this message, if you remember in the beginning, it talked about, things not being comfortable, but still staying in those uncomfortable situations so that you can learn. And I'm telling you, that is this card all the way. So, maybe this is going to come up more at the end of September. And it's that comfort that you're hanging on to, that comfort zone. See, Sag, comfort zones are so bad for you, because one of the things I've learned in life is that growth you cannot grow comfortably. It actually is not a comfortable thing to grow. Like when you stretch something, it's kind of a hurting energy, you know what I mean? Even when you go to work out, you're growing your muscles, right? And it doesn't always feel good to work out. Like there is that little pain, like no pain, no gain, is what I just heard. And there's a lot here. This is pain that's been built up over the years, probably since January or at least March. So if you want to expand, you're going to have to expand beyond your comfort zones. I feel like some of you even kept yourself stuck here. It's really interesting how comfortable we can become with stagnance, right? But at the end of the month, Jupiter is really wanting Sagittarius to move forward with something all the way. Not just this. This was just inevitable. But now it's time for you to really step up and let go of some things. So this is only the beginning of the prize. This is a sneak peek. Like the sun is not done shining for you. So when this change happens and releases you from this stagnant energy, do not hang on. It's like, what good does it do to get rid of you're no longer hanging upside down, but I'd rather hang upside down like that than lay on the ground like this, because out of the Hanged Man and the Ten of Swords, I believe the Ten of Swords is a much more stagnant energy. Both of these cards talk about sacrifice and seeing the light within the dark, but I feel like the Hanged Man is more committed to seeing things in a different way. The Ten of Swords can definitely be a victim energy, can definitely continue to lay on that ground and refuse to see the light because of all the betrayal, right? All the backstabbing. Some of you are having issues letting some of that go from the past and allowing this happy change to take place emotionally, new beginning. You know, and it's so interesting that you're battling that. I'm seeing a message here about comfort, you know, letting go of certain comfort zones to start some sort of new beginning at the end of the month. So I would definitely say that there's something here about expansion that needs to take place, where there's been so much stagnance and lack of change. There's definitely endings at the end of the month that are going to force change, Sagittarius. It's going to force you out of your comfort zone. You know, just remember the times where you willingly sacrificed your comfort. You know, all of a sudden it gets kind of harder to do something when it seems like we don't have a choice, right? I believe you had a choice to see this differently, and you did. And now you have this new beginning, but when this Wheel of Fortune comes in to expand you in higher ways, you're going to need to remember that Hanged Man energy. You're going to need to remember this energy that you stayed in and learned something from it when it comes to this. Because this is definitely a hanging on energy. The Four of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign. It could be something, you know, you are going through career stuff in September. So maybe this is just a career change that you guys are really fighting. You know, you're comfortable at this career, you're comfortable knowing what money you're making, but in the future, there's some sort of way bigger, better job for you. And it can't come in until you free up the energy of this Ten of Swords betrayal. It could be a relationship. You could be hanging on to a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I just know this Wheel of Fortune is going to roll right over this Ten of Swords. It's interesting that this is some sort of painful completion that takes place. And it really destroys the comfort zone for once and for all. And the reason why comfort zones are so negative for Sagittarius is because it keeps you guys from adventuring. It keeps you guys from going out and exploring, and it keeps you guys from being fiery and expressive. And you guys are ruled by the biggest planet in our solar system, Jupiter. So you have to keep in mind that a big old planet like that, it's kind of like your personality, Sagittarius. Your personality is the personality of Jupiter. It's very expressive and adventurous and fiery and sassy, and it's the biggest planet, right? So you need room. Maybe you've outgrown your environment. And you know, it's weird. It's a weird energy because I know you had to stay in that environment for a certain amount of time, but you're no longer stuck there. So allow this change to happen all the way with both feet. You know, not just one foot out the, like the Temperance card. It may be time. It's interesting I say with both feet because there's like not both feet on the ground here. So I don't know if what you're hanging on to painful, but you know, there's happiness that wants to come in, but you have to let it in. You know, it may involve a different home environment or something like that. It may involve an emotional message, but there is some sort of message that comes in at the end of the month to help you release this attachment to this pain, okay, so that this change can happen. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. So I know you guys are juggling independence when it comes to being independent financially, and maybe there's just financial links between you and another person, but there's just definitely something you're juggling. It could be two different jobs. Do I quit this job? Do I continue? You know, but ultimately you guys want to be surrounded by your own abundance, like this Nine of Pentacles. We have two nines here. So there is some anxiety centered around a new beginning. Because 9 is right before 10. So you're very close to the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Swords. It's interesting you have the 9 of Swords because you do have that 10 of Swords here. So I do feel like, at least mentally, I see a lot of mental illumination. So mentally there is a new beginning. But as far as financially or physically, you know, you're hanging on to something physically here. So that might be what's hindering that 10 of Pentacles to show up. So you're going to need to really get in touch with your own emotion about that. Reassess the things that you're juggling in your real life. This is stress. You know, there's financial stress here about the career, and this is some sort of truth coming in here that may really stress you guys out at some point in September. This I don't know if this is a spying energy or if this is a quick message. It might be a hurtful message, but the Nine of Swords and the Page of Swords is like some kind of truth comes out at some point. And it seems like you have the Nine of Swords, the 10 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords in a reading. So this is definitely talking about some kind of betrayal, mental anxiety about some kind of truth that comes out. You know, it could definitely be you speaking this truth or someone speaking it to you, but it could be a quick message that you get, text message, email, whatever. It could be word of mouth. But this truth seems to be linked to some kind of anxiety that is linked to you losing sleep. You've lost sleep over this truth. You have had nightmares about this. This could just be you kind of intuitively feeling the truth and having certain nightmares that it's like dreams are showing you that this person is cheating on you or that this person is lying to you, because we do have the Three of Swords. So to me, this Nine of Swords and this Three of Swords, it has a lot to do with some kind of truth that comes in. Heartbreak may be linked to, Sagittarius. Here's the last and final message. This card talks all about the ultimate decision between comfort and uncomfortability. This man here, in the middle of these two wands, he has two paths to choose from. And I think that's what September boils down for you. You have two paths. There's a path that you've been walking for a really long time. And let me tell you, some of you guys were walking that path because you were stuck or something. Like there was no other path that seemingly seemed available. Well, September is that month where there's a lot of decisions. You even have the Two of Pentacles. So you have a financial decision. And you also have a very adventurous decision about your whole world. This world is in your hand. So this man is reflecting, about what way he should go from here. And this card talks about, you can choose to stay where you are and be comfortable because that has always worked for you and you're too scared. But look at what you're starting the month out in with this Fool energy. So why not just jump into something completely new? Because, yeah, you're going to be uncomfortable, but this reading has been all about growing while you're uncomfortable. Okay? It has a lot to do with learning. You're learning something about this, and you have this Ten of Pentacles now. And it's definitely with a Libra. Now, I don't know if you guys work with any Libra energies or if there's Libra. This could be Libra season, too. Yeah, if you're not dealing with a Libra, this is like financial balance within your family and within your home environments, some sort of, maybe this is also some sort of court thing that happens, or, financial heritage, something like that. But the Justice card talks about being equal. So there's all this money here, and it needs to be balanced, right? That there needs to be an equal share for people. So there could be some kind of energy about that, balancing out finances, being financially independent and not giving it more than you're getting. This could be a job. This is career. I feel like this 10th house transit of Virgo for you guys has really helped balance your guys' perception of value and worth and, your career. Some of you guys are going to end September really having a better idea of what you want to do for a career in the long run. There's some financial balance taking place here in the work. This might manifest as a new job or a financial increase. But we have you guys, maybe this is something to do with court, anything that is financial related with court. That could potentially be why there's a heartbreak in the Nine of Swords. Some of you guys may find yourself up late at night in September over some kind of betrayal, okay? We have seen little bitty hints of that. But don't allow that to distract you guys from what's really going on with you. Because there's a beautiful message here about, balance. I see a lot of financial balance here as well. Two of Pentacles is financial balance. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles with that Libra energy. So two different messages about financial balance. And then also just the decision. You have two choices here in September, Sagittarius, which is growth or comfort. They do not go together. Growth and comfort are not friends. They can't party in the same clubs. They don't resonate with each other because you can't have both. If you want to grow, you have to sacrifice your comfort. If you want to stay comfortable, you have to sacrifice your growth. So I'm not here to tell you which choice to choose. It's, some people, like you have this stay card. So some of you guys are sacrificing your comfort to grow, but others of you guys are growing in, you know what I mean. Some of you guys are choosing different things. It's all about what way this wheel is turning for you guys. But this is the crossroad. I was waiting for this card to come up because with the Stay and the Hanged Man and all this energy about growth and staying and sacrificing comfort and everything like that, it reminds me so much of this two of Wands, because I learned about that card a while ago, that's what that card meant. So just make sure you're thinking about your own world in September, Sagittarius, because there's so much expansion building up from now until November for you guys. You want to be careful what you're hanging on to, because it could just be dead weight. It could just be stagnance. You've got a lot going on here, a lot of new happiness, a lot of new emotional flow, lots of new beginnings and celebrations. And it has something to do with this message that has been reiterated about, you know, the places you felt stuck in that you're no longer stuck in, but hanging on to the past and the pain and the betrayal, and literally, you know, choosing to stay and apologize in a situation, knowing that you're the bigger person because of that, and doing what you're, it's like you guys are going to make a decision that's harder. You're not going to take the easy way out anymore. And I love seeing that, Sagittarius. It's very respectable, very Jupiterian. You know, I feel like a Sag is always going to choose to expand. You know, it does not take a Sagittarius a long time to say, fuck it, like, let's just go, fire energy. So I feel like you guys are going to choose something new just based off of the cards. We have a lot of endings that are wrapping up, a lot of new beginnings that are coming in with this sun energy, new happiness. So I think you guys are definitely going to choose enlightenment, and you're going to choose to run wild and free, basically, and roll with this wheel of Jupiter, you know, with your fortune, and leave this past Ten of Swords behind, so that you can start with this is all about a new mental journey. I think you're looking at this pain differently. Some of your pain has changed because of these endings and because of what's over now, you know, so there's no need to hang on to it. If you're going to hang on to something, hang on to what you learned, Sagittarius. Hang on to what you learned through the pain and through those hard situations of dark, because you're a lot smarter now because of that. And, you know, I think you're just seeing this in a different way. This whole reading has been about seeing something in a different way and not taking the easy road out, doing things that are really hard and complicated for the time being, so that in your future it pays off. So really awesome message. Hopefully that resonated with you guys. If you have any questions, you can comment below. I read all the comments if I can see them. So I read all those comments, and if you want a personal reading, you can contact me. That'll all be in the description box. But other than that, I think that's a really awesome reading. That's one of the most intense readings I've given this month, in my opinion. So you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think and how it resonates with you guys. I will be coming back at the end of the month to talk to you about the Aries full moon. So I will see you guys there. And if I don't, I will talk to you guys in October. Bye.